sound like you're in the room with me here.
Yep. Well, I'm pointed your way, so it happened to be locked in that direction when I decided to quit turning it. Technically, I could turn it, but each time I turn it, it just wearing grooves in the in those launcher poles. You know, the 5-foot sections. I just don't want to do that.
Yep. Big yawn here. Boy. Well, let's see. What did I do after you left? I went out and weeded. Pulled some more weeds. And then took all the weeds down and put them on the burning pile. Everything's burned on the burning pile except for the stumps. They're sitting there like stones.
Yeah, those things, there was quite a bit of dirt and whatnot in them, and everything was real green. So I figured we just keep burning on them until they disappear.
Yeah, well, I beat on them. I got most of the dirt out of them. They're actually quite light. There's some dirt that you're never going to get out because it's a mesh of web in there. But basically, I got all the dirt out of it, and it came out pretty well. I did a lot of different techniques to get the dirt out, and I got a lot of dirt out of the stump. So most of them didn't have very much in it. The last one I put on there probably had more than the others, but not the early three anyway. But anyway, and I cut off all the usable pieces. But anyway, I could have cut them up even more, but I didn't want to wreck the chainsaw blade. That's cutting down through anything that's got dirt in it, and this dirt is just like de-sharpening tool.
Yeah, who is that that doubled with Mike?
WV6JNT.
Yeah, good evening, Dane. How are you?
I am well. Everything is well in Coursehold. We are headed out Wednesday, so I will be mobile at that point, so we'll see what goes on.
And where are you going?
Headed towards Felton.
Oh, over to the coast, huh?
Yeah, something like that. You know, we'll get a chance to continue the trailer project.
Oh, and what project is that? Just getting it in shape for longer trips?
Well, getting the radios in it, and every time I get something going in it, I come up with some new idea. So, just the next upgrade, and it'll be my birthday weekend. So, we'll have fun.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't heard of the town of Felton for a long time. I know where it is, of course, but it's a little-known destination, obviously. But I know where it is because we used to live over that way, but hardly everybody mentioned, I'm from Felton.
Well, it's like nobody mentions they're from Coursehold because nobody is.
Oh, well, everybody's from Coursehold. Every ham in the world is from Coursehold.
No, every ham in the world lives in Coursehold, but no one's from here.
Well, that may be. They weren't born here. Didn't exist when you guys were born back when Christ was a kid.
No, it's just the way it goes.
Okay. Good to hear you. And Frank was down here earlier today. Did you get home in time to get the fire going for a barbecue?
Yes, and the wife was very happy, and she grilled hot dogs tonight.
Ooh-hee! I haven't eaten yet. I had some snack at 4:45, waiting for Levin to come on, and I ate too much, I guess, because I just don't have an appetite. I'm going to wait till after I get done here and then go in and slap on a TV dinner, I think.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, in fact, she actually did the grilling tonight. I was on the tractor, and so she came in, already had the fire going, and she just said, hey, I'll just do it. So I guess I haven't told you about it, but there's a really big project that's been going on for a little while here. I am on the east side of the pad there going up the mountain. I am slowly eating that mountain away. It took enough moisture that I can claw through it and break it up some now. and I'm eating this house pad slowly back into the mountain and moving it in and continuing to fill that washed out area. The actual original washout is almost completely full now, and but I'm just going to extend that thing, and basically the idea is as I push this back, I'm putting in a house pad back there, big enough to put a house on, and we'll still have a driveway around it to the back and all that. So that's what I was doing while she cooked dinner, and then had dinner, watched a little TV with her, and came out here. And good evening to you too as well there, Dane. K6MYC in the net, W6BBS.
Yeah, good project.
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox.
KG6 Charlie Echo Fox, course gold checker inner number 3. Good evening, Daryl.
Good evening, Mike. Good evening, Frank. And good evening, Dane.
Good evening.
Good evening.
KM6 SRR.
Oh, course gold checker inner number 4.
Yeah, but let's remember, he lives down in the lowlands of Course Gold. He's not even official.
He's not a fish. He's not a bird either. He's an animal.
Hey, good evening there, Rob. Just harassing you a little bit for fun.
Not her ass. It's his ass.
Okay, Mr. 72, KM6 SRR.
Hey, Rob. We have a printer here, a copy machine, that all of a sudden is taking a dump. And I need to get about 5 or 6 copies printed from something. And if you're going in, you could drop them by the plant and have them print them for me. Or if you have a copier, you could run them for me at your convenience sometime between now and Wednesday. I know you're not going in tomorrow, but anyway, I just wanted to put that in your head. Somebody will hopefully get in here tonight that'll help us run some copies. This printer that's in Matt's room for some reason has decided to lock itself up and doesn't want to let us do anything. Of all that perfect timing when Matt's gone for a week. Over.
Okay, yeah, I am going to go in tomorrow and take some recycling. I'm not sure exactly when it'll be going down, but is this your log sheet? Because I think I might have an original of it. I think I made one last time I made them for you. Over.
No, it's part of a prototype little antenna that's the first part of the 23CM49 that we have to put together, but we're making 5 different versions of the rear-driven element section for first to 9 elements, and I have to put some dimensions to it so Matt can draw it up and give it to the laser cutter.
Okay, in that case, I'll have to come by before I go down in there and pick up your original or what you want to make a copy of. KM6SR, back to net.
Well, we can talk about that, whether it's worth a trip over here. If it's in any way, shape, or form inconvenient, I wouldn't worry about it. But we'll see what happens here. Let's think about it through the net. Let me see here. Let me make a note. This is the Bozo Net, beginning probably close to 7:30 here, and we're pointed down south looking for hopefully a check-in from KB6RQU, and certainly a check-in from N6SWR. And I'm hearing little bits and pieces of the LA boys down there, so we seem like we have some propagation when they decide to turn up this way. So, KB6RQU, are you around this evening by any chance there, Rick? K6MYC in the group, standing by. No such luck. How about Ben? Ben, how about yourself there? N6SWR, Bakersfield, DM05, K6MYC.
05, and I want to apologize. I didn't get a chance to have anybody go up to Rick's place this week. I just had a real busy week and forgot. I apologize. I'll try to do it this week.
No, it's not a big deal. It just, if it works out and you can either run up there or have somebody go by, maybe we can get a hold of the other guy. Adam, I guess, was the guy. Wasn't it Adam that lives a block or two away from him, Rob?
No, not Adam. I'll look for it. I'll find his name. I made contact with Rick, so Ben doesn't need to take the time to go up and contact him. So unless he just wants to go up and say hello there, KM6SRR.
Well, I think he'd get a little bit more insight if somebody was there face to face, finding out what's going on.
Well, I guess, but it's kind of private stuff. I probably wouldn't pry. Over.
Well, not prying, but just being there might open up some eyes.
N6SWR.
I think we doubled with you, Ben. Try it again.
Roger, I didn't get an opportunity to go up there. I'm glad that Rob would make some kind of contact with him. I'll try to get a local ham up in that area to make a trip up there, or not up there, they're already up there, but I won't be able to get free to make a trip myself, but I'll try to find a local ham that will make contact. N6SWR.
Yeah, okay, that would be good. Probably better if a local taps on his door and says, hey, the guys are wondering where you are, what's going on, and if you're okay, can we do anything for you?
Roger that. That's the plan.
All righty. Well, good to hear you, 247. N6SWR, Bakersfield, K6MYC. Sound pretty good tonight.
Yeah, actually, after almost a year and 3 months, I got up on the roof a couple of times today and tweaked my Yagi that birds had been on it and had it looking a little strange. I got it straight and horizontal and looks good now, and I'm glad it's working a little better. N6SWR.
Yeah, okay, well, very good, very good. And so your shoulder and all is repaired enough where you feel like you can clamber around a little bit, huh?
Well, I can clamber around a little bit. My shoulder hurts worse than before my surgery, but with the limitations, I can still use it. It's just painful.
Huh. What was wrong with it originally? Why did you have surgery?
The joint, I had, I guess, arthritis in the joint and stuff, and it was starting to pop and screech and move and quite painful, and they did a total replacement, but I did fall a couple of times after surgery, so that was all for nothing.
Oh, okay, so you damaged the repair?
That's right. I pulled the tendons off of my, I tore up my rotor cuff and then pulled some muscles.
You're not supposed to do that. That was in the instructions not to fall.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't read it.
It was in the fine print section. Okay, I got it. Well, we're sorry to hear that. I think you did mention that before, but I didn't realize that it really was that serious. So, and when you did all that and tore everything loose, did they tell you to just come back later and we'll fix it, or just try not to fall and do the best you can? We can't do anything for you now. Is that what they tell you?
Oh, no, they thought they could do something. They wanted me to come back in, and instead of a total replacement, they wanted to go in and take it out and put a new one in and do a reverse shoulder replacement. I told them, never mind.
Yeah, okay. That's too much of a hassle, too. And then if you don't rehab perfectly and fall down anywhere, you're going to be back where you are. So maybe something like a relief factor or something might be able to alleviate the pain. At least it's functional, but maybe you need to get something that can take the pain away. You might try that relief factor. That seems to work on those long-term aches and pains that just won't go away, but everything else is functional.
Roger that. We'll have to look into it. Thank you much. Have a great evening. N6SWR.
Yeah, okay. Good evening to you, Ben. Go ahead, Rob. Say hi.
Hi. How you doing, Ben? N6SWR, KM6SRR.
Roger, and I was going to say I put up a very small Yagi antenna UHF horizontal for the Thursday night's net, but the coax I installed, when I got to the end of it, I'd used some pre-existing coax, and I found that the barrel connector between the two coaxes had corroded to the point it separated. Now I've got to cut an end off of one of the coaxes and do a total replacement on it before I can hook it up. So it'll be a little while before I do it. I've got to get back up on the roof to do that repair.
Yeah, okay. I wonder, you've got to be careful. If you got corrosion in the barrel joint, was it all taped up? In other words, did the water come from inside one of the other coaxes? It may be that the other one or the other side of each coax on either side of the barrel is damaged with water. So I wouldn't bother to replace a connector if you've got water damaged coax. Go ahead.
No, both sides were very good, and you remember, it doesn't rain a great deal here. It was just crappy, cheap Chinese aluminum or something. It just corroded and literally disintegrated between the two pieces.
I'll be darned. That's weird. I'm sorry about that. They're normally made out of brass material. I don't know what yours was made of, but it sounds like it was trying to be an aluminum barrel or something.
Yeah, I've never seen, I don't care how bad of a connection I've seen, I've never seen one that corroded and broke in half from corrosion.
So you got your money's worth, huh?
I don't think so. I don't think it was up but a couple of years.
Holy cow. Okay. Well, good luck with that. Too bad we don't have somebody, you don't live closer here. We can have somebody help you with that connector thing, but all the way down there, we're not going to do that just for putting a connector on if you've got the capability. Over.
Roger, thank you much. No, I'll deal with it. I'll get it done or get a new piece of coax. N6SWR. Have a great evening, guys.
Okay, well, thanks much for the update, and we'll keep an ear out for you when you'll be able to tell us on a Wednesday that you're going to be ready for Thursday or something like that. 7-3 for now, Ben. Good evening. K6MYC, 2-meter Bozo Net, looking up and down and waiting for more check-ins here in the San Joaquin Valley.
KK6, ZKE.
Fly 1079.
Was it 504 or 507, Terry?
704, KK6ZKE.
I had it totally screwed up. 704. So what the hell my head was thinking there? 704. We got you now. Okay, good evening to you, Aaron.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. It was a gorgeous day down here in the valley.
Well, we're in the valley, too. It was nice here. It was a little cool. I wished it could have been under 5 degrees warmer, but it wasn't bad. As long as you were doing something, it was fine. When I sat in the chair in the house after a while, I didn't start the fire because it was so nice outside, and I should have started the fire because I got cold sitting there. I fell asleep in front of the TV. Woke up and I'm cold. Holy cow, I'm cold. Why am I cold? Anyway, good deal. And yeah, we had a nice day here too, real bright and sunny, and got all the batteries charged up and raring to go by noon or before. So we keep making little cleanups. Frank found another bad connection in the newer replacement, not replacement, but add-on solar panels. And now we're really charging quick and solid now from all the panels that are laying on the hillside, which is always helpful. We had a good charge up before, but it's even better now. So that's our story.
Oh, very good. Yeah, you're at 96%, so you're doing great. And I'm gonna go clean a fish tank, so I'll be listening from the other room. K6USY.
Okay, so you're gonna clean up a tape.
Fish tank.
Oh, fish tank. Tango Alpha November Kilo. Got it. I don't want to leave those fish tank go too long. Fish will get mad at you. All right. We'll see you when you get back. Okay, Terry, how was your? It was a beautiful day everywhere, I think. So did you enjoy it?
Somewhat. Yard work and all that. Not too much going on.
Well, yard work is usually gratifying because it looks good when you're done. How about it?
Well, for me, yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay. You have a low esteem there, huh?
I'm not much of a yard person. I don't really like it.
Hey, speaking of pulling weeds and doing yard work, this is going to crack you up, Frank. We were looking at some of the weeds that were growing very quickly in my yard, and I was out in front, right in front of where Scott's car is parked there. I've got a rose bush, and I was just piddling around the rose bush. One of the other bushes in there had gotten kind of barren, so I was trimming some of the ugly stuff out of it. I looked behind the rose bush, and bigger than the rose bush, extending over the top of the rose bush at a little over 3 feet tall, was a thistle that was every bit of 2 inches at the base. Over. Frank must be in the other room there, or outside finishing up something. Anyway, it was a gigantic thistle, but he was hiding behind the rose bush. But I found him, and by golly, the dirt was loose back there, and I was able to pull the whole thing out. I didn't break it off or have to cut it. I pulled it all up by the roots, so it was just amazing. One huge thistle, 3.5 feet long.
Well, Mike, they say that the thorny plants stick together, and I guess that's what they're doing.
Boy, they did. Luckily, I didn't get thorns from either one, though.
Oh, Roger, did you hear what I said? I couldn't tell that double with you. Over.
Yeah, I heard what you said. Thorny plants stick together.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, also, I looked up the other guy down there in Lake Isabella. That is Scott. I can't remember if you told me or not. It's KG6BRJ 946, Scott.
Is it BRG or BRJ? I think it's BRG. I could be wrong.
Yeah, BRG Golf. I guess I wrote down J. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, no worries. It's too bad that he isn't checking in. We could kind of keep tabs on what's going on there with Rick. As he's living a block and a half away, he should be able to at least run over there once a week or so and see what's going on. Anyway, he hasn't checked in for about a year now, so I guess he's gone flat or something there. Too much other activities going on there in Lake Isabella, I guess.
Yeah, it could be, and I don't have any landline for him or any other way of getting a hold of him, so I guess we'll just wait till next time he checks in. Over.
Yeah, well, maybe, I think Ben down there must have some contacts in the Lake Isabella area. He seemed like he knows some of the locals up there. Maybe he hooks up with them on FM. There's quite a few amateurs in Lake Isabella. I know that, but most of them are on HF. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's see, QRZ again. Anybody else in the San Joaquin Valley for checking into the Bozo Net before we move over to a Trascadero K6MYC?
KM6HK803.
Hey, thanks, Dan. KM6HK 803, and we had somebody else too. I didn't get the other station. Who was the other one?
Kilo Juliet 6 Kilo.
KJ6KK. That's a rare one. Give us a Bozo number and a name if you can, and refresh my memory on where you are there.
It might be 792. I forgot. 792. Name is Jim in Porterville.
Yeah, okay. You're down there by Eddie.
Right next door.
Oh, next door to Eddie. Well, knock on his door and remind him to check into the net tonight.
All right. Well, just quick check in. I'll see you next time. KJ6KK.
Okay, and thank you very much for checking in here. I do it more often, and we'll remember you a little bit more easily, Jim. Good to hear you here. By the way, did you know we have live streaming? In other words, you can listen to yourself. You can see yourself on my receiver. We have video streaming and audio streaming. It's about a 3-second delay on the audio. You get to it by going to bozonets.com, the website, bozonets.com, and then go on past the preamble and click on the little thing that says streaming or live streaming on the Central California VHF nets or something, and it'll take you to a Bozo the Clown, which is a YouTube page, and then follow your nose, and you can see the live streaming, and so you could hear yourself and how you're coming in up here at my location. Over.
Okay, I had forgotten about that. I forgot about that, but I want to do that. Is that only during net?
Yes, just during nets, but all the nets. So every single net that I do is, unless we have a malfunction of equipment, which so far we have not, the 2 meter, the 220, the 432, the 6 meter, and the 1296 nets are all live streaming. So it gives you a heads up on when we're heading in your direction. In your case, you're down there where we normally start, but you also can listen to, if you have a small receiving system, you can hear the other sides of conversation. Sometimes we get into discussions about solar systems, solar panel systems, and antennas and amplifiers and coax cables and whatever else. So sometimes there's things to be learned. But if you can't hear but one side of the conversation, it doesn't help you very much. So it's helpful from that standpoint as well. But you can also listen to your own signal and see what you sound like. So just a heads up on that one, Jim. Again, go to bozonets.com and follow your nose. Over.
All righty. Thanks for the reminder. I'll want to do that when I get got antenna working.
KM6 SRR.
Go ahead, Rob.
Do that.
Yeah, I'm not hearing Jim. I'm pointing right down there. Is he on a vertical? Over.
He may be. I was just going to ask him, Jim, are you vertically polarized at this point?
Yes. I have a horizontal, but it's the coax that's been removed for a period, and I have some good coax to replace it. So I'll be horizontal in the near future.
Okay, well, good. Hopefully, sooner the better. We'll be anxious to hear you coming up horizontal. And one of the other fellows broke in here. Rob broke in and said he couldn't hear you. He said, what's going on? I can hear you, but you're not real strong. But I've got the 19XXX here up at 107 feet and have a little gain going in your direction. But he hears Eddie really well in Porterville, so he was quite surprised that he couldn't hear you. But it's the polarity shift that's keeping him from hearing you. All right. Good luck with that. Hopefully you can get everything working, and hopefully you won't need any help. But if you do, you might be able to find somebody else to give you a hand with that, or answer a question if there's any question on the coax or cable connectors or whatever. Just let us know if we can help you in any way there. 7-3 for now, Jim. KK, and let's see, is it K? Oh, shoot. I can't read it, Jim. As you know, I'm going blind, so give me your call again so I can say it.
226.
KK6.
KK6 Kilo Juliet.
Kilo Juliet 6. Kilo.
I had it backwards. Okay. That's what I thought I heard. KK6 Kilo Juliet. We got it. Yeah, thanks, Jim. And Ken just checked in. I'm sure he's hearing you. Ken, WA60IB. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was Kilo Juliet, 6 Kilo is what he said, WA60IB. Good evening.
Just getting everybody written in here. We got a pretty light on the check-in so far this evening. Anyway, anybody else before we go to Atascadero? Okay, 6MYC Bozo Net. Okay, pretty quiet out there. Good evening, Ken. Anything new with you?
No, not really. Just, I'm here. But, yeah, I was copying him okay down there. Where is he at? Is he in Porterville?
Yeah, he's in Porterville, apparently very, very close to Eddie down there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, very good. Well, when he gets horizontal, he'll be fine. But I could copy him, no problem. But he's about an S3. Okay, I'm heading out towards Atascadero now, WA60IB.
Yeah, I'll go that way too and see if we can hear Ron. We haven't heard him for a week or so now.
Good evening, Ken. WA60IB, KM6SRR.
Yeah, good evening, Rob. Good to hear you on the
2-meter net as well. It was good to hear Joe tonight. It has been a while since he's been net control on there, and that was good.
Yeah, I think that's the second time in maybe a month, but before that he, wasn't on at all. I didn't hear your first check-in there because I almost missed a net there. I was outside working. Over.
Yeah, well, the second check-in, I made that announcement about the SK, so that was all. I forgot to do that during the first, so we got that taken care of.
Roger. Thanks, Mike. Go ahead.
Okay. What do you have an FM net on Sunday night?
Yeah, the Radio Club net every Sunday night.
Oh, okay. Didn't know about that one.
Oh, yes, you did. You forgot about it. Yeah, it's been that way for, 40 years, I guess, or better. Yeah, every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. The W6TO, the repeater up above you there.
Yeah. What's YEP doing these days?
Who knows?
Oh, he hasn't been active?
No, I haven't heard him for a long time.
What started that? He is not having health issues, or is it just lack of interest, or is the wife giving him trouble, or what's going on?
All of the above. Yeah, he's going through a bout of cancer. He's on the uphill or downhill on that now. He's gone over the hump, so he's got that under control at the moment.
Well, that's good. Wish he would get back on. It'd be good to chat with him again. He's a valuable source.
Yeah, he doesn't get on sideband at all. He'll once in a while. Well, about the only place you'll find him is 145.7 simplex.
Well, he has 2-meter sideband capability. He used to check into the VHF nets here.
Oh, he got capability for everything. Yeah, all the way up 1296 and down. He just doesn't use them.
That's a shame.
Well, I encourage him all the time when I talk to him. And we want to hear you. And I told him, hey, Mike wants you on the Bozo Net. He just laughs.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't want to be a bozo, huh?
I guess. Okay. Oh, well, hey, Ron, are you awake there on the Tascadero, WA6OIB with the gang?
W6QUI, are you there, Ron? Ron. About KM6EIV, how about you, Eric? They just fell off the edge of the cliff, I think, the damn earthquake, and they drifted out to sea. Guess they're just not there. He hears us anyway when we're pointed down south. So let's just go on up and get Monterey. Then I'll be calling WA6LIE next. Odd. See, sometimes in the San Joaquin Valley we get about 20 check-ins. Tonight I've only got 10, and half of them are from Course Gold. Can you believe that? Okay, Monterey.
Monterey is here.
Well, go ahead. Let me get you tuned in.
Okay, very good, Mike. Yeah, here. So hopefully find me back when you guys get good and get me better. At any rate, bring it easy there, Mike. Hopefully you're coming okay. You're sounding great over here in Monterey from WA6LIE.
Yeah, really a funny flutter fade on you, but we got you Q5. It's not really pleasant to listen to, though. It sounds like you're underwater. You're probably hearing the same thing on us here. Anyway, very good evening to you. And 6 was open yesterday and a little bit today, but I didn't hear anything down on 110 or on 125. I didn't see any sideband. But did you catch anything unusual on 6, or did you miss it?
No, let's see, on Friday I worked South America, worked down to Argentina, one contact FT8, that was about it. Others were working more than I, but there was activity yesterday and the day before, but nothing's made, Mike. Over.
Okay, I heard Tango 32 on the air on, what band was he on? I think he was on, well, it was 10 meters. Yeah, 10 meters, and I was thinking maybe he was also on 6. I didn't ask him. He had quite a pileup going. Tango 32 something or other, whiskey uniform or something. But big signal from Christmas Island, and very active and very loud on 10 meters, but I guess they didn't come up, or maybe they're not going to come up on 6. I don't know whether he has to be just visiting there. Otherwise, he wouldn't be just getting on there and making many contacts for hours at a time. He must be on a de-expedition sort of situation. There used to be guys that lived there regularly, but they've kind of slowed up. We had an operation there. I think our military had some people down there, but it's been pretty quiet from Christmas for quite a while, except for the occasional visitor. Anyway, you might keep an ear out for him. Tango 32 something, and I thought it was Whiskey United, but it might be uniform something. I thought it had a U in the call, but you'd find it if you cranked up T32. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Actually, I worked that day up 15 meters. So every 10 meters has been really good up into Europe from about 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon today. Was over to Europe on 10 meters with FT8 anyhow. So, not great signals, but, the path was there. So, what can I say? Things are getting better, Mike, and we'll see what the DX God brings us, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't had more FT8 contacts into Europe. I thought by now we'd have some real low-level F2 or something going that way, but I haven't heard much about that. It's all been down to South America on transequatorial, I think. Anyway, anybody else for Scott before we go up and see if we can hear that weak signal out of Santa Cruz? I think it's KW6S running 5 watts or something. Anybody for Scott?
WA60IB. Good evening, Scott. Okay, just wanted to say hi. Good to hear you. WA60IB.
You're sounding good down here. You're sounding better than Mike tonight, so it must be the best.
Yeah, he's very weak for me tonight. It's a funny one tonight. He's really fluttery and wavery, so we don't have a very good path to him tonight, Ken.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's fine here, so that's one of those selective ones,
Yeah, it must be. I wiggled back and forth, and I've lost him on either side of where he should be, so he's coming from the right direction. It just ain't strong. Okay, well, let's go up and get Tom. Scott, 73s, we'll see you on Monday, hopefully on 6 meters on Monday night there, Scott. WA6LIE, K6MYC, looking for KW6 Sugar.
K6MYC, KW6S. Let's see. Yeah, it's doing something there. I've been calling CQ on FT8 on 6, and not a lot of luck. My best DX today was Charlie Mike 97 W6PQL.
Oh, that's a rep snorter.
Yeah. I did have one other contact, but he was even closer.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Hot stuff, huh?
Yeah, I usually point at Europe and give it a little while of calling, and point at South America, and then I point over towards VK, trying to pick up something from the South Pacific there, but not having much luck.
Have you worked the T32?
I worked them on FT8 on 15 and 10. It's T32 Echo uniform.
Yeah, I thought it had a U in an Echo uniform. That's what it was. Well, I just wondered if they're going to come up on 6 meters. That would give you a new country if you haven't worked them on 6.
Yeah, I've been trying to find if they're on 6, but I haven't found anything yet that says they're there.
Well, the guy, at least he was courteous enough to exchange a couple of words with me. I heard him calling CQ, and he was working a lot of people. And he had a little lull, and I called him, and of course he was crushingly loud for me. So he came back like, holy cow! I really crushed him on 10 because I came on with a kilowatt and a 6 element with a 1,000-foot drop off. I was looking right down his throat. And I said, really good signal. You got a nice signal. Yeah, he says, you're really strong here. He said, you're 5 and 9, but he didn't give anything else. But I said, thank you very much for being on Christmas. I should have asked him if he had 6 meters. It just didn't dawn on me to do that. But he would at least answered if you asked him, if somebody asked him, have you got any equipment on 6, or how long you're going to be there or something. He would have at least mentioned it. Some of the guys won't even tell you. They won't take the time because they got such a pileup. In fact, it all of a sudden got real raucous after I worked him, and he had to say, I can't do this anymore, guys. I got to go split. So I'm listening up 5. So he made the crowd split so he could do something because there was so many people calling that he just got buried. Anyway, it was interesting, but I didn't ask him about 6, and I just screwed up on that one. I don't normally work people on 10, but he was so loud that I thought, well, hell, he's loud off the back of the beam. I'll come around and give him all I got, and he about fell off his chair. Over.
Yeah, I just looked up on Club Log where it tells you if you're in their log or not. And it shows little black squares on the bands they're active and an open square on the bands they're not going to be active. And FT8, they're active, or claimed to be active on 6 through 80. And sideband 20 through 10 and CW 10 through 80.
Oh, too bad. Why they limit themselves like that. I mean, if you've got a radio that can do FT8, you can certainly do sideband.
Yeah, they may not have a very substantial antenna out there on 6, and that might be, maybe they just think that's not going to be very effective.
Yeah, well, maybe. It's too bad people think that way. 6 is the magic band, you know. Sometimes with wet noodle, you can get out like gangbusters for a little while.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that on 10 meters. Today on 10 meters, I worked over 100 Europeans in probably an hour and a half.
Wouldn't surprise me. I was on the phone with them, and they were just pounding in here. Not today, I didn't listen, but yesterday I did, and I looked at the strongest signals on the band, and they were all coming out of Europe. So the band was really, really, really good into Europe over the last day or so. All righty. Well, look, we'll see you tomorrow, of course, on 222 and 6 meters. For now, we'll let you go, and I'll keep going here. We're a little light on check-ins this evening. Well, I guess we should check and see if Lee is there. KB6 Lima, Echo Echo, K6MYC. Lee, how are you?
Yes, sir. KB6LEE. I'm out here, and I was actually working on the Quaggy today. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get into the net on Thursday. I put up a tripod, and I now have a push-up mast on it. I had an old Roan push-up mast that I discovered buried in the leaves in my yard several months ago. So I've got that cleaned up, and right now I've got the Quaggy about 14, 15 feet above the ground, hopefully either right at the top of my roof line or a little bit above. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that I'll be able to do a little bit of testing between now and Thursday, and I'll be into the net on Thursday night.
Well, good. That'll be a good, exciting test for you. Is that as high as you can get it at 10 or 15 feet, or can you get it higher once you get it happiness?
Well, I can get it higher. The problem is I don't have a big enough footprint here to string out any kind of guy guy ropes or guy lines or anything like that. And because of that, I get a little hesitant on some of these cheaper. Well, and basically all I'm doing is I'm holding the tripod in place with a couple of cinder blocks. So if the wind starts coming up, I start getting a little nervous. My other setup here that I'm talking to you on now has two cinder blocks on it, and it withstood the 50-mile-an-hour winds that we had several weeks ago. But it's only about 10 feet, 12 feet above the ground. So, I'm a little bit apprehensive about getting it up much higher than what it is right, the Quaggy up higher than what it is right now. But I got to do some testing first and see how it all works.
Oh, very good. Well, if it works anything close to the 2-meter one, you won't have to go any higher. You're booming in over here. Very good. Well, good news, and hopefully you'll be able to get everything working by Thursday. That gives you some time. I don't think we've got any rain scheduled. How about you?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a slight possibility of something coming in Friday and Saturday or something like that, but I think between now and then I'm in good shape, and the weather's going to hold out, and I'm crossing my fingers. There you go. KB6LE, back to you, Mike.
Okay, finally. Well, you've talked yourself out of a weather excuse anyway. I wanted to hear you say that, so you're committed now to get it fixed, get it running. Okay, take care. See you later. Thanks for checking in here. KB6LE, anything else from you, Tom, or we move into the Bay Area? Over.
No, not too much going on here. I'm got plenty of projects, and since after the flea market I get to reassign my priorities a bit, and hopefully that's going to move on. One of the priorities is get rid of that 6-meter amplifier with the 3400Zs in it, and hopefully either sell it or trade it for a 12-volt, 100-watt or so 220 amplifier. But all in good time. So in the meantime, just enjoying ham radio. K6MYC, KW6S.
Yeah, okay. Lee, if you're still there, would you give me your Bozo number?
Roger. I am the Countdown Bozo, 1098. That is 1098. Roger.
Roger, got it. I knew it was something like that, but I just get those bigger numbers tangled up sometimes. Very good. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Tom.
Hey, Mike, Lee's got the Countdown Bozo number, 1098. Over.
Yeah, I got it. He said that. All righty. Bay Area. Anybody in the Bay Area alive and well? We're running real light on check-ins this evening, guys. K6MYC, Bozo Net, beaming now into the Bay Area.
KBCY, Kilo Juliet, Queen India, Bozo 271.
Okay, who is Bozo 271? I had so many people, I only got your number. What was the call?
Yeah, KJ6, MQI, Kilowatt Juliet 6, Mike, Queen India.
Scotts Valley, Jared?
Yep, you got it. That's the one.
I knew it. I just couldn't put the call to it when I heard the number. Very good. Good evening. You're sounding pretty good over here. And how are you doing? I think the last time we talked, you were going to do something or try to get something going on 432. Were you making any headway with that?
Yeah, copy. I was supposed to get another radio in here, and so, I think I told you I have a bunch of these things just sitting on the shelf from, back when I used to have these in trucks and stuff. So I've got other TS2000s to use. I did pull one out. And then as I did that, I was trying to actually hook up the 23 centimeter, and my cable, the end on it just fell apart. So I ordered a new one, and I'm trying to get that all going. So hopefully, maybe this Tuesday I'll be able to do something. Over.
Okay. Well, good. We'll look for you on 1296 at least, and then as time goes on, maybe you can get the 432 going as well. Good to hear you, Jared. Thanks for checking in here on a fairly regular basis here. Let's see, and I also heard W6PQL 12 1296. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, and I also heard Russ in between syllables. So Russ is on frequency, as is KB6WFC. And everything's okay over here except for me. I was doing a little gardening yesterday. I'm cutting the orange trees have these little shoots that come out of them every year that you don't want to let them get too high or you can't pick the oranges. So I had one of these cutters on a pole. I snipped off the little branch, and you wouldn't think that thing could hurt you, but it fell right on a bone spur I had on my right hand, and it must have hit just exactly. Anyway, I've got one of these strap-on casts on that thing. I don't think anything's broken. If it is, it's just cracked. But boy, it sure hurt. It still hurts, but it's getting better. I wonder what disaster will befall me tomorrow. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Well, we don't want to put the label on you yet, but you could be you could be on the list to become what we call accident prone.
Boy, I hope not. It doesn't ever end when that happens.
Yeah, I know. It usually comes in bunches of 3.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, you got one to go, I guess. Well, let's hope not. Anyway, good signals, and I'm not really pointed quite up your way there, but let me see. Russ, say something. We'll get it up your way and then around the loop here. Now, I may have also heard AXX, but I'm not sure. K6KLY, 111, K6MYC.
Good evening, K6KLY. Still here. I go in for my first round with the hospital on Tuesday, so hopefully I'll be back here to check in later in the week again. K6KLY, and the Space Weather Girl says Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning we're going to get hit by some big stuff, so expect some action on 10 and 6 meters, over.
Yeah, either some action or some blackouts, one or the other. Usually brings something within a day or so of that when that happens. So good deal. Now let's see. You're going to the hospital, but you're not going to have anything done. You're just going in for a preliminary, or are they going to work on you on Tuesday, over?
Yeah, they're going to run a camera up in the vein of my arm up in and take a look inside my heart, over.
Okay. Okay, have them leave a greeting card. It's Valentine's Day coming up.
That was in February.
Oh, was it? I missed it. Damn.
That was a month ago.
I must be thinking about Easter. I'll have to leave a couple of Easter eggs in there.
You got K6 on my trying to check in.
Yeah, Easter's coming up here. All right, that's it for me. There's 3 or 4 other guys here in the Bay Area trying to get in. K6KLY.
Okay, fine, Russ. Good to hear you. What did you say, Frank?
711 K6MI trying to check in.
K6MI.
K6MI, I hear you now. John, good evening. Good to hear you.
Good evening. Just got home. Thanks.
And I have, let's see, Jim labeled off a couple of them. Who else? It was KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, I know. Was that, are you still in here, Mike?
Yes, I am. K6MYC, KB6WFC. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Same to you. We're almost through it, but I'm not Irish, so I didn't think much about it today, but you're right. Good to hear you. And did you make a change or something? You're the strongest signal out of the Bay Area so far.
Well, I did goof around with a few knobs here, but hopefully the amp won't kick out.
It's way strong. I don't know what's going on, but we've really got good propagation from Daly City tonight, and I'm not pointed at you quite, so who knows? It's really strong.
Well, thank you, sir.
You betcha. Okay, now let's see. Who else do we have? I had a couple of others, and I wrote in a couple, but I don't know what I got now. Who else is left in here on the Bay Area?
KB6BA.
B6BA, I didn't get you listed, Oliver, so take a quickie, and then we'll go on.
Yeah, good to hear everyone. Beautiful day today. Went out for a hike, played the microwave radio for a little bit. And I agree, Mike sounds definitely stronger than he usually does locally in the Bay Area. K6MYC, KB6PN.
Well, there you are. So I wasn't dreaming. Maybe he fixed something with one of those knob twists that he did. I don't know why it would do something on roof, but maybe he was transmitting on 288 megs instead of 144.
Anyway, I hope he keeps it up. KB6PN.
Yeah, I do too. Fine on everything. Okay, let's see. Ed, are you here? WA6AXX?
Yes, I am. No traffic. Beautiful day. Went up to about 63, and we'll have several nice days before a little bit of rain later in the week. Otherwise, all good here. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Okay, very good, Ed. Good, strong signal. Everybody's pounding in from the Bay Area here. So that's good. I missed somebody in the people that, let me go for Jim, WB6JNN. Jim, are you here?
Yeah, I just keep getting covered up. Anyway, yeah, I did hear Caracal on PJ2/NA2U on 10 meters, but I was on the patio with my 705, so I obviously couldn't raise him. But aside from that, nothing else going on here.
Yeah, Tango 32. Did you say Tango 32 or somebody else?
PJ2, Curacao.
Oh, okay. Same call as the Tango 32 call. It's a Tango 32 Echo United also.
Yeah, well, this is the one I heard on 10 meters. He was a pretty good signal, but of course, competing with 5 watts didn't do it.
Yeah, that's a shame. You can get through, but you've got to have a quiet, a guy that will take time to listen for you. Just have to keep screaming, QRP, QRP, and then somebody that's loud will tell them, hey, you got a QRP calling you, guy. Listen up for the QRP station. Anyway, good deal, Jim. And maybe you got a few days of flying coming in here. Looks like the weather's going to be nice. How was it up there? Did you have wind today, or was it quieter?
Oh, it was a beautiful day today. It got to about 72, stayed there all day, and the cats and I went out on the patio. In fact, I had all 3 of them out there at one point, and we just sort of mellowed out and sat out there and enjoyed the weather, and I talked to a few people and heard a few more people. I did work a guy in Oklahoma who was only S5, but he heard my 5 watts, so he must have had a quiet location.
Yeah, outstanding. Well, it wasn't that warm here. I don't think we broke into the 70s at all. I'm sure it didn't break to 70. It was in the high 60s, however. A pretty nice day, but it wasn't what you'd call warm. I worked around, crawled around on my hands and knees pulling weeds in the front yard around the edges of the lawn, and I was never sweating, never sweat. So it wasn't that warm here. Anyway, good to hear you, and we'll look for you tomorrow on 222 and 6 meters, hopefully. Anybody else in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net.
Kilo 6 Echo Radio Fox.
E6ERF up there in Martinez. Good evening, Russ. I'm not pointed at you, but we got good propagation. Let me go a little closer to you here. That should be closer.
Yeah, Roger. Now you went from 30 to 40 over an extra 10 dB. Yeah, good evening to you in the group. We also have Gary here, K6QR. Go ahead, Gary.
Howdy, Russ. Howdy, Mike. Howdy, Ken. Howdy, everybody on frequency. This is KE6QR, Charlie Mike 88, great conditions.
Yeah, good evening, Gary, and Russ as well. How are you doing there, Russ? First of all, is it starting to settle down? Is the dust settling a little bit?
Oh, a little bit, but it's still very, very busy. And I'm working for my doctorate on weed cutting and control. It's been a beautiful day, but I've been spending time doing the weeds.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've been pulling weeds, too. I was telling the story earlier. I was looking behind a rose bush that I have here, and peeking over up behind this rose bush, which is about 3 feet high, was this gigantic thistle, and when I got all the way to the base of it, because it's in a real heavily landscaped area, I had to climb over a rock to get into it, had a base that was 2 inches in diameter, and it was 3 feet high. Beautiful thistle. Came right out, though. The ground was soft back there, and I just pulled it out, roots and all, over.
Yeah, that's why I'm busy, just doing what I'm doing, and doing what you're doing. The soil is perfect to get the weeds out, so that's a real good idea. What are you doing? Are you doing weed control there?
Yeah, it never ends at my place. You know, I've got 2 big yards, front and back, and the weeds, I cannot keep up with them at this time of the year, but I just keep walking around and pulling the thistles, and mostly the thistles. They grow like weeds for some reason, over.
Oh, I know, that's terrible. How about you, Gary? You doing any weed control over there?
Yes, I am. We spent all day Saturday doing weed control, grass control, and opening up my backyard railroad that you have to pull the weeds out during the wintertime and clear all the landslides and all that stuff. So that's what we've been doing. KE6QR. And by the way, I listened for the net Wednesday night, and that was when we had that big storm going on, and I had a 20 over noise level everywhere on the 2-meter band. Couldn't hear anything, so that's really good. Back to you, KE6QR.
Hey, Roger, Gary. I guess you're working for your doctor and weed control, too. Okay, well, thanks so much for using. I'll be checking out here. Get back to some of the activities. Take it away, Mike.
Okay. Well, all of a sudden you got super strong, and Gary went right into the mud. He was down to Q3 at the end there for the last sentence, but we got you, Gary. But all of a sudden, Russ, you came up like a ton of bricks. Could you believe that? I bet you I'm pegging your meter.
Hey, that's really great. I do use compression here, too, just to keep the speech even and level.
Well, it was not that. It was just a big burst of propagation. It might have been a plane or something, because you was as strong as I've ever heard you for a few seconds there, over.
Well, thanks for the report. It's good to have that once in a while anyway.
Now it's back to fluttery. Very good. Well, hang in there. It'll smooth out sooner or later. K6ERF and KE6QR 73 guys. K6MYC looking for N6RO.
Yes, K6MYC N6RO 835. Beautiful day here, and we did some antenna work, rebuilding the 20-meter KLM. So it's awaiting Hector's visit next month, and we'll be back in business on 20 N6RO.
You mean 40? You said 20, but you said 40, but you meant 20?
Okay, yes, I meant 20, yeah. It's the lower of 3 beams.
Yeah, Roger, that's the one the boom broke on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's the 20. Okay, yeah, you said 40, and I'm thinking, geez, I didn't know he was working on the 40. Okay, we got it.
Extend the boom from 40 to 42 feet to keep up with the spec.
There you go. Okay, good deal. And it was a nice day for that. And what's the word on Hector? Have you talked to him personally to know what's going on with his mother and all that?
No, I haven't. In fact, I owe him an email with a list of all of the tasks that we have for him. It's going to be about 10 days worth of work. It's a long list. Anyway, I may be talking with him a couple of days from now, and we'll let you know. I think he's busy now. He's already traveling all over the country doing antennas.
Okay, so he is apparently Mom's doing well enough for him to get away and get back to business. That's good news. Either way we get it, it's good news that he's working. I don't think she passed away. She just was very ill, wasn't that it?
Yes, I really don't know the status of his mom. I'll find out, though.
Okay, very good, Ken. Thank you. It was a funny weekend. I didn't think the Russian contest would blow out 40 meters, but between bad conditions on 40, just poor propagation to Africa. I worked a bunch of Africans, and finally, when I got down to ZS1, it was okay. But boy, ZS6 area was just really thin. And we had QR Mary on both sides. I couldn't find a hole in the band where I could keep people from coming in and getting monkey chatter or rumble from one side or the other, over?
Yeah, well, I took the weekend off. Didn't do any contesting. One of our team guys played around in the RTTY British contest. We're mainly trying to recruit enough members to, or operators to do the WPX in 2 weeks. That's our focus right now.
I got to get everybody out of the hospital, huh?
Yeah, things are looking up on that score.
That's good. Good. Hopefully you'll have a full crew when you're ready for that, and then you can have something to talk about when you go to Visalia, huh?
Yeah, although most of the talking is done right after the contest on 3830.
Oh, no, I'm kidding you. Yeah, you've forgotten what happened 2 weeks before that on your schedule. It's you got to move on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I keep a record of it because I can't remember what we did last weekend.
I hear you. Where's that? I hear you, Dennis. We'll be right up there. Let me get Steve here, and then we'll be up in your way. Steve, good evening. I think you're there. W6SSW, K6MYC. Maybe Steve isn't here. He said he was going to be traveling. Maybe he's not home tonight.
You know, Mike, I tried to check into 432 on Thursday night, and my antenna is still very high SWR, still waterlogged, I think, at the feed point. And I tried to get Steve to check me in. I could only run 20 watts, and he didn't respond, so I think he's on the road.
Well, he was there. I think I worked him on 432, but you may not have been radiating anything. Could you hear him?
No. I called him a couple times. I even turned the beam on him because he's a little bit further south heading than where I was listening to you.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he was there. I mean, I can't be sure because one net kind of runs into the other in terms of who checked in unless there was something unusual. And like the only net he doesn't check in on is 222. So I'm pretty sure he was there Thursday. The conditions were kind of crappy, but I remember going back and forth on him, and I thought I had him in there, and we had him stand by a couple of times for you. And it was two nets in a row we'd missed you, so I was concerned that something was wrong. But anyway, we did not hear anything, so apparently it's really gone bad on you.
Yeah, Steve was there last Thursday, over.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, okay. So Steve was there. If you didn't hear him, you really got a problem.
Anyway, we got some plans to update the UHF stack, and there's always something.
Yeah, well, you just need a backup. You know, on 6 meters, if one goes bad, you got two others. But on 432, you don't have anything to back up. Even a vertical would have gotten you through.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I have that little 4-element. Forgot who makes it. It's basically a long periodic for 2 and 432.
Yeah, I don't know who makes that. I've forgotten, but yeah, that would work. That would get you through anyway. So that's something that you should go to. If you don't hear Steve or anybody else on the band, then you know something's really wrong.
Yeah, I think I was late. That Thursday night is 2 Zoom meetings, and I think I got here after you were talking with Steve. Anyway, I tried to break in, and you couldn't hear me.
Oh, were you hearing me?
Oh, yes.
Well, you could hear me. Okay, so I just couldn't hear you. That's weird. But I had a problem on my end. The wind had blown here, and it ripped both feed lines loose on the big tower. And I asked Matt, it was just dinner time, and I said, I'm in a panic mode here. I have no signals on 432. So would you walk to the tower with me and see if we can figure out what's going on? We go out there, and the big coaxes that come down from the top of the tower, 70, 90 feet up, were just waving in the breeze, nothing hooked to them. They had ripped themselves loose from the jumpers that we had going to the relay box at the bottom of the tower. So we fixed that quickly, and then I rushed back in the house and tried to rotate, and I couldn't rotate either, so I was dead. So I worked people with my little 4 EME 12s. And so without a preamp, and that may have been why I didn't hear you. I don't hear as good as I can. I noticed quite an improvement when I turned the preamp on the big system. So I'm pretty sure it's the same way on the little 4 EME 12s that are up there, and that may be why I missed you, Ken. We were limping along on that day. Over.
Yeah, well, I certainly was. As I say, the radio trips, if I go more than 20 watts, and of course the amplifier just is, it won't tolerate anything. So it's still SWR about 7 to 1. It's coming down very slowly, but when it gets down to 2 to 1, you ought to hear me.
Yeah, okay. When it gets down to 2 to 1, you better fix the damn thing.
Yeah, well, we've got plans for a new tower for it, and not sure how soon we're going to get to it. Possibly by June, but most likely in the fall.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can always use that little one to get through if you can't get through on that one. If you don't get me at all on the bigger one, try the little one and see what happens.
Oh yeah, well that's what I started with here before I got all the N-squared long booms. Well, long for me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, it's just a thought. I'm sorry we missed you, but we had a real hodgepodge day. But we did come back. I think I came back from Nevada and stopped again, and asked Steve again, I think, but I can't remember now because I do that quite frequently. But when I miss you, I usually come back. And then we went into the Bay Area. Didn't get anybody in the Bay Area, and so we pretty much were sitting there for a while rag chewing, but I was pointed toward the Bay Area, so I would have not heard you if things were hurting. All right, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow night on 222 and 6 meters, Ken. N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC, standing by for W6 Sugar Whiskey. And he isn't there, okay. So he's traveling. He told me something that he wasn't going to be here, but I remember it, but I didn't make a note of the date framework. I should have. Normally I do, but I don't remember now. All right, we're going to go to Sacramento and get Dennis and a few others. Here we go. Okay, we are into Sacramento, K6MYC Bozo Net.
And 6 hours, okay. Alpha Juliet 6 Quebec Lima.
Oh, okay, 2 strangers here. Did I hear N6RZJ? Is that you, Dan?
Yeah, Roger. Good evening, Mike. Hope things are going well for you. Everything's pretty good up here. Terribly busy, but thought I'd jump in here and say hi.
I forgot your Bozo number, Dan.
Oh, sorry. It's 939. Bozo 939. Copy?
Yeah, I got you. 939. Thank you, Dan. Great to hear you. Is the 1296 working?
I think so. Yeah, we've had terrible winds up here, and it's not aligned perfectly, but I'm going to work on that tomorrow, actually. Should have that going by tomorrow night. Tuesday night should be good.
Okay, good. We'll look for you Tuesday on 1296. It's been a little light up your way. Most of the guys, I'm having a real trouble with the KR6MR between poor propagation and others. But with your station, we can always work you, so it doesn't go completely empty in the Sacramento, Placerville direction. Hi. Great to hear you. Welcome back to the land of the living here. Hi. And let me see. AJ6 Queen Lima. Good evening, George.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Bozo 10. What is it? 103. Come back to look it up. 39, I think. Yeah, I heard you yesterday on 40 meters with the South Africans. That was nice. Over.
Okay. When I was working, ZS1 or ZS6s?
ZS6s. That was really nice.
Oh, okay. Were you hearing any of the ZS boys?
Yes, but very weak, because I don't have a beam, and there's some mountains in that direction from here.
Yeah, they're a little little on the light side. That was a poor propagation night, I can tell you that. We had really poor propagation. I had Q5 from 2 of them, and then 1 or 2 others were really marginal. And then later, I hooked up with ZS1 Papa Zulu. He runs one of our 2-element 40s, what we call a 40M2 Mini. He's got that up at 70 feet, and he was rocking in real nice, and we had no trouble copying him on 40 meters, so we continued on, but that was later in the evening. And but boy, the early part of the evening was really tough with the Q-arm area and everything on top of everything else. But yeah, I do that on the weekends, George. That's usually my routine, because I don't do it during the week, because I don't get in the shack with any energy left to pour into 40 meters after doing all these nets. Hi. Anyway, good to hear you. AJ6 Queen Lima 1031 K6MYC.
Yeah, 1031, right. That's I think it was Corey that I heard yesterday, and Jan I couldn't really hear, but very interesting. Yeah, it was nice. 40 meters wasn't very good. It didn't run a lot of people inquired. It wasn't very nice, but that happens. 40 meters kind of narrow. Well, thank you, Mike, and I'm going to keep listening for you some more there, and I think you still have.
Yeah, well, Friday night and Saturday night are my 2 active nights, and I'm going to try and maybe get on Wednesday morning or Tuesday night after the 1296 net. If the 1296 net is quick, I'll try to get on and work a few people on Wednesday. Wednesday morning, it's Tuesday night our time. So you might keep an ear on that one. Tuesday night, around that same frequency. Usually hang around 7147, but in this case, I was down a few kilohertz because of the band being full of QRM from the contest. Anyway, good to hear you, George. What are you using on 40 meters for an antenna? Over.
Oh, it's just a dipole. I'm pretty crimped here because of the airport proximity, so I cannot use a beam here, unfortunately. I'm not allowed to have a beam because of antenna height restrictions by the FAA. Over. Yeah, understand. Okay. Corey's got the best signal. He's in Region 6. He says ZS1. He moved up from Cape Town area, but he's operating in ZS6 land now, and he's moved his home. So he's ZS1 Charlie Quebec, operating in Region 6. So that's what you'll hear, /6, or Region 6. That means he's not in Johannesburg or that area, but he's within 80 to 100 miles of that area, but he's in the Region 6 area. And he hears the other guys pretty well. ZS6IW is another one, but he was way down last night. And ZS6 Alpha Fox runs power, but he wasn't up to his normal signal strength either. And then there was a couple of others that I just could not pull through, so it was pretty marginal. Not a good night at all, because the propagation was missing about 10 dB, George. It's usually better than that. Anyway, I use a 3-element beam, and of course that helps me get in there. I've got, they hear me okay usually. Anyway, thanks for checking in here. Let's see if we got the regulars here. Where we got KO6KD and KJ6 KJ6 Whiskey Foxtrot Bravo, Kilo Foxtrot Bravo, I should say, and some others, K6MYC Bozo Net. Oh, Dennis.
Kilo Juliet 6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo. Real weak tonight, comparison to normal nights. Hopefully you got that antenna turned right my direction. Kilo Juliet 6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo. 756.
Yeah, well, I'm not turned toward you, Darren. I went past you to get George up there, but let me come back a little bit. But the conditions up your way are not real good. And that should be a little better. Is that better, Darren?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. You're getting there, but it's just not holding up quite as good as it usually does.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny little QSBs. Everybody I've talked to here, in fact, George would come up nicely, AJ6 Queen Lima, and then he would just drop right down into very close to the noise, and he'd come right back up again, but it's all over the place. So pretty poor conditions here. It was really rock solid into the Bay Area, rocking and socking east-west, but going to the north for you guys, it seems to be poor tonight.
Oh, no, it's just right there right now. Move along before it gets bad. KJ6, KFB.
Yeah, there you are. There's that big QSB again. A big, strong change. Thanks, Darren.
WB6ISO.
Yeah, go ahead, Dennis. Are you fixed yet, or are you still limping along on one antenna?
Yeah, I heard some other statements that was coming in along with you there, Mike. Yeah. Anyway, we're back. We just got done working on the antennas and everything else, so hopefully everything's back up and working. I'll copy over.
Oh, just fine.
Yeah, major project, yeah. New power balance and new coaxes and connectors, and even put a brand new electric winch on the tower, so yeah, that is just now getting everything all taken care of.
So everything's new and fresh, and hopefully it'll stay that way.
Well, yeah, I certainly hope so, that's for sure. Anyway, I'll get out of the way. I'm Bozo 86. I heard a couple other people trying to get checked in, so let me get out of the way and let you get them checked in. A pleasant good evening to you. Nice hearing you. WB6ISO.
I did not hear any Clear Lake. Did you check the Clear Lake boys in tonight?
Yeah, I talked to Dave in one PPP a little bit earlier, and Mr. Kent. If you want to check both of those in, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, we got them. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're entirely welcome. And there's another station that was trying to check in. The other station, it's all yours. Go ahead. Okay, Mike, stand by just for a second if you would. I got the station, he's on a vertical, and I got 110. What was the rest? Okay, Mike, 1110. Would like to get checked in. That's kilowatt 6 Alpha Victor Bravo. Over.
Yeah, very good. Ask him how long it's going to be before he goes horizontal. We haven't heard him for a long time. It's a really long time between check-ins. Has he got plans to get horizontal? I can hear him, and I heard him give his call sign, but that's all I could copy. Over.
Yeah, I will definitely ask him. And, I didn't catch the name there. What was the name? Over.
Yeah, the name here is Jacob. Mike just came up for me. I could hear him on that last transmission. He must have turned the beam.
Okay, Jacob, no problem at all. And you're planning on putting up another horizontal antenna, I take it, there in the near future? Okay, Jacob, very good. Yeah, he's going to be working on getting a horizontal antenna up here in the very, very near future there, Mike, so you'll be able to communicate just a little bit better. Over.
I hear him about half the time. Jacob, I'm copying you about half the time. I'm running about 1,500 watts, and you should be hearing me okay. But I can only copy about 50% of the time, but I'm horizontally polarized. You'll get a lot better when you go horizontal. Very good. Good to hear you. Thanks for checking in after a long hiatus there. Good to hear you. K6AVB, kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, and I've got everybody else, WA6OSX, KA6OSX, and N1PPP 333. What is his number? 336, I think. 336 for N1PPP. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, it's 336 has checked in, and stand by there, Mike. There's another station here that wants to get a check in. The other station, go ahead.
QSL.
So, Sean, give me the number again if you would there. You went a little bit too fast there, Sean. UBX, go ahead. 233 there, UBX would like to get checked in there, Mike. That's Sean down there around Lodi, over.
Okay, he must be vertical also, aren't you? Aren't you vertical, Sean, over?
No, I'm horizontal, but I'm on a different antenna. It's low to the ground, just 5 elements.
5 elements on the ground horizontal. Well, that's no wonder you're weak. I hear you, but you're really, really weak, over.
'Cause
just confirm the call. It's Kilo Alpha 6, Uniform Bravo X-ray. Can you repeat it for me, Dennis?
Kilowatt Delta 6, Uniform Bravo X-ray, over.
Okay, not KA6, it's Kilo Delta 6. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he got it there, Sean, over. Yeah, well, you're doing fine. I finally got my antenna fixed, and hopefully you're copying me just a little bit better down there rather than the bigger antenna going now. Yeah, well, you never appreciate having 4 of them up until you only have to run a single one. Then you'll really know what the differences is. Yeah, very good there, Sean. Okay, before I get out of the way, is there somebody else that needed a relay checked in or whatever? Okay, the other station, I got the Romeo toward the end of it. Maybe Mike today, or Mike, are you catching that station?
Oh, I just got Oscar Romeo. I didn't get the whole call. They're all the last 3 are about the same signal strength. They're well water weak and Q3, over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the station there, with the Romeo and the call, I didn't catch all the call. Give it to me one more time if you would, over.
That was a perfect double, Dennis. The station with Oscar Romeo, try it again now. K6MYC with WA6 ISO.
Roger, Mike. Alpha Echo 6 Oscar Romeo, AB6 over. You 59 plus 20 dB here. Yourself?
What you've got to give it to me phonetically. You went so fast I didn't get any of it. KG6 something.
Yeah, give him the call one more time. A little bit slower, alpha, and using the alpha numbers.
Yeah, double again.
Oh yeah, everybody's got some heat in the sound.
Okay, give me your call again now. You've got massive flutter, so it's got talk slowly. Give me the call sign phonetically with letters, phonetics, over.
7-3, Mike, 7-3.
No, he just...
No, come on.
Time, if you would, please.
Give it Ocean Radio or whatever the call is. Give us your call again, please. Don't go away. Just go slower. You've got flutter on you, and it's difficult copy because of the flutter, but I want to check you in, please, over.
QRT 73, bye-bye.
No, don't go QRT. Give me your call sign, please.
It was Alpha Echo 6 Oscar Romeo.
AE6OR, okay. Alpha Echo 6 Oscar Radio, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
I don't think he wants to be a member of the Bozo Net.
Well, I was getting such flutter going on here and everything else that I was having a little bit of a problem of hearing him exactly. So that's why I was having some difficulty as well there. And hello, Bill, KO6KD. I know who that guy is. WB6ISO.
Yeah, hey, Dennis, glad you got everything working again.
Yeah, you and me both. Okay, I'm going to go the way so you get checked in there, Bill. A very pleasant good evening to you. KO6KD, WB6ISO. Mike 73, take care. Catch you next trip.
73.
Okay, you're very light, Bill. What's wrong?
I don't know. Let's see. 444. I'm running power. Got the antenna pointed your way. I'm not sure what I can do differently. Over.
I don't know either. there. Yeah, I got you, but you're just way down from your normal strength. It may just roar back in. That's what the band's doing tonight. It gets real weak. Darren checked in. He was well water weak, and then all of a sudden he came roaring up like he was in the shack with me. So it's just band conditions, Bill. I'm sorry about this morning. I got a call from an old high school buddy, and we got rambling on about various things, and the next thing I know, everybody had signed off of the net.
Yeah, everybody just kind of eventually faded away, so no big deal. Billy wanted to get going before it got late. He didn't want to make the trip all the way back in the dark, so he went ahead and cleared off. And but it was nice. It was a very nice time. I think most everybody had a good conversation. So anyway, but that's no big deal. Everybody understood, and we'll see him next Saturday.
Yep. Alrighty.
There's another station trying to check in.
Call him in. Roger, Richard, we have your 249. Stand by.
Delta 6 station, Mike?
No, not a peep. Go ahead.
Who's the Kilo Delta 6 station again? Yeah, who was the Kilo Delta 6 station trying to check in?
Kilo Delta 6, Quebec, Hotel, Peter, Elk Grove, F51.
KD6, Quebec, KD6, Quebec something. Go ahead again. Not getting the last letters, Bill.
Something hotel. I'm still not getting them. Quebec Hotel. I think he's number 1051. Is that correct? Your number 1051?
Yes, QZH.
There you go. Did you get it, Mike?
No, I don't have the full call yet. Kilo Delta 6, Quebec, Zulu, Honolulu, is that it?
Yeah, Quebec, Zulu Hotel.
And does he have a Bozo number?
Yeah, Quebec Zulu Hotel. What is your Bozo number?
1051.
Copy, Roger. 1051, Mike. 1051.
And find out what his name is and if he's running vertical. Why is he so weak? Why am I having trouble hearing him? Over.
Yeah, QZH, are you vertical? You're in Elk Grove, I understand. Are you vertical or horizontally polarized? Mike, it's Peter. Peter is his name, and he's in Elk Grove, and he's vertical. Over.
Yeah, Roger. I heard him say he's vertical, and I think I heard him say 100 watts. Was it 100 watts, Peter, or just 50? Over.
Peter, how much power are you putting out?
50 watts.
Yeah, 50 watts, 50 out of the Yason 991 and a vertical that's 30 feet off the ground.
Okay, well, I'm hearing him, but he's just very weak, and so sometimes I just don't get all the words. I'm getting Q3 copy, but it was difficult to confirm call sign and Bozo number. I was hearing bits and pieces like you were, Bill. I noticed you went to the vertical to hear him. I heard you go back vertical, horizontal. You're much better horizontal, of course. Very good. QZH, good to hear you. Thanks very much for checking in. Try to check in more often. Maybe you can get something up that's horizontal, and you'll be easy copy. I can hear you vertical. I'm running horizontally polarized 19 elements at 107 feet and about 1,500 watts in your direction. So you should be hearing me okay. But will be a lot better if you can get horizontally polarized. Even with a very small antenna, will make a huge difference. Go ahead again, KD6QZH, K6MYC, over. Okay, you might just make a mention that we do have live streaming and tell them how to get there very quickly. There's 3 or 4 that should hear you and be able to go live stream and watch them, over.
Slight delay what Mike hears, and you can hear him calling the net, so you can actually listen in on YouTube. Go to Bozo Net, and you should be able to find the live stream, over. Oh my gosh, well, see now what you can listen and keep up with the net and not just listen to static. So, all right, very good. We'll see you next time, 7-3. Okay, Mike, I gotta go. KO680.
7-3. See you tomorrow morning on 40. 7-3.
Roger, roger. 759 KR6MR.
KR6MR. Good evening, John. I knew you'd be in there sooner or later. A lot of traffic, a lot of new little, not new stations, but guys that haven't checked in for a long time that are vertical, over.
Yeah, roger, Mike. Yeah, it's been pretty busy tonight. But you were good copy most of the time, over.
Yeah, well, I've been swinging the antenna back and forth a little bit, so I'm probably not on you quite, but good enough for now. And I'm going to check and see if I can hear the boys up in Reading. I'm pointed almost right for Reading, I think, right now. Reading. No, I'm not either. Here, let me get up a little further here. There we go. That should improve things for you and also make it right for Reading. How copy now, John, over?
Oh, like next door. Very good copy, over.
It makes a difference sometimes on this thing. Okay. Very good, and hopefully we'll have good conditions with you on 6 meters tomorrow. That should be no trouble. And then, of course, we got our fingers crossed. N6RZJ should be back on. He checked in this evening from up his place, and I know you guys can hear each other there from where he is. He's at N6RZJ Dan 939, and he said he'd have the dish up and operational on Tuesday night, so maybe you guys can help me get connected there. Help me get connected with you. KR6MR 73 for now, John. K6MYC.
Okay, 73 is KR6MR. See you tomorrow night.
Roger. And Reading. Charlie November 80, Reading, KD6 Sugar Whiskey and KO6HS. How about it, Rich? KD6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC, over. Very, very light. I got you 145, but very, very light. Almost no readability. Over.
Yeah, you were much stronger a few minutes ago, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, I'm here tonight. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening. You were Q3 to 4 on that one. You're coming up. Signals are coming up. There's just big QSB tonight, up and down. It gets real strong, and then it just goes away. Thank you, Rich, and we'll look for you tomorrow on 6 meters. We'll look for you tomorrow again on 6 meters. Hopefully we'll hear you. Let's see if Jerry's in there. KO6HS, Jerry, 230, K6MYC, over.
Roger, KO6HS 230, we're in here. Looks like the band is coming up just a bit. Your signal strength is increasing, and hopefully it's a two-way thing. Over.
Yeah, perfectly. Q5, way stronger than Reg on that one. It came up, but it was coming up at the end of his there. Very good, Jerry. Good to hear you, and a pleasure to hear you. One of these days, you have other bands. I think you have a rig that works on 432, don't you?
Roger, I
do. Do you have an antenna for 432? Okay, is it horizontally polarized? Okay, I missed a little bit of I got the Roger on the horizontally polarized, but I missed the other comment. What was the other statement? Make a full sentence out of it, and I'll piece it together. Over.
Roger, just confirming that it is horizontal. Over.
Horizontal, okay. Oh, very good. Well, maybe we can hear you, and Rich, you guys can get in here on 432 night. That's Thursday night, 7:30. Thursday night, 7:30. We usually get up your way about 8 o'clock or so. So maybe we can catch you on Thursday night on 432 if you can try it. KO6HS, K6MYC, over. I couldn't copy that. It's you're strong enough, but too much flutter. It was distorting the audio, and the band's down at the moment. Just wait for it to come up here a second. Let me see how Rich is doing. KD6SW, is it better for you now, Rich? Over.
I remember this time. I'll give it another shot there. Over.
Okay. You're coming up at the end of that. What did Jerry say about his antenna and the tower? I heard something about the tower, but he is horizontal. Over.
Oh yeah, he's got a horizontal beam up for 432. He was just saying that he doesn't have a lot of power. It's the same on the 9700 here. I think it's about 75 watts. Over.
Yeah, well, we should be able to make that. Last week I was hurting. I didn't have a preamp, and I had the wrong antennas for you guys. But this Thursday I should have the full array working again and the preamp out there, and I'll have 2 XP40s with both polarities up at 95 feet. So we should hear you on 432. So we'll hopefully hear you about 8 o'clock or 8:15 at the latest. Thank you, thank you, Rich. Thanks for the feedback on that. And tell Jerry we'll look for him. Of course, we'll catch you guys on maybe you on tomorrow night on 6 meters. We'd like to work you there as well. But certainly on Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday, we'll look for you on 2 meters here, and then again on Thursday for 432. That'll be exciting to work you guys up there from Charlie November 80 on 432. Let's hope we have some good conditions. It's kind of crappy lately, but maybe it'll peak up for us. You never know about 432 and 2 meters. Sometimes they work opposite. KD6SW and KO6HS, 73 Rich and Jerry, K6MYC.
Okay, 7-3 there, Michael. Give it a shot and see what happens. I still have an SWR problem on 432 antenna, but I'll get that fixed. At least it works. 86 shortwave ready.
Okay, yeah, well, hopefully you can get the SWR problem resolved there. Hopefully it's a little water or something in the coax maybe. 73 Jerry, and we'll look for you on Wednesday as well. KO6HS, K6MYC. Okay, I think Jerry's gone. Okay, who else do we have in the Sacramento area? Anybody else? KW6T?
Yeah, Mike, good evening. K6MYC and the net from KW6T Latrobe. Good evening.
Yeah, good to have you in here. You making any headway on getting the other stuff repaired from all that wind? I think you had wind damage, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't done anything. Haven't been up on the roof trying to get other things done around the house and things like that. Radio's kind of when I get time to, it's one of those things I'll get around to it when I get time. So it's kind of toward last place, but I'll get there.
We can put a couple of around to it in UPS and ship them out, over.
Yeah, you might try that. Unfortunately, they never seem to get delivered here. I don't know. They keep getting waylaid someplace. But anyway, it'll be taken care of probably the next week or so.
Okay. Very good. Thanks for checking in here, and we'll look forward to hearing you again on Wednesday for an update on whether you had. Well, you should be okay right now. You got a good spell of good weather coming here, so now's the time to clamber on the roof and see if you can straighten things up there. Take care. KW6T, K6MYC.
Yeah, 7-3, Mike. K6MYC, KW6T, back to net.
But K6 Whiskey into your sugar. Paul, are you around anywhere? I haven't heard Paul for a week or so. I guess maybe he's gone or something. Okay, let me go to Nevada. What time is it, Rob?
408 Zulu.
So it's after 9 o'clock, is it?
Roger, 908.
Okay, well, let's see. I think I'm hearing CW in there, and that may be Larry or maybe Richard. I got Richard checked in. Let's try for Larry first. N7WT, K6MYC. Okay, how about you, Richard? KD6BQ, K6MYC.
49. No Larry tonight. Don't hear him or Dale on tonight. Over.
Okay, you're working alone tonight. What the heck? They abandoned you? Did they abandon you, Richard?
Yeah, nobody showed up. I was trying to get a hold of them. And on 220 FM simplex there, nobody showed up tonight, so I guess they didn't make it. Too much good weather. Well, maybe, I don't know, yesterday they were taking down that tower, so hopefully they got that done successfully, over.
Yeah, well, a little bit at a time. It'll all pan out, I'm sure. I thought Daniel would have the 2-meter thing fixed by today, but maybe he got waylaid and didn't get that done. He should be in here, but if he didn't check in, well, then he didn't get the 2-meter system fixed up there. I'm sorry it took us so long to get here, but we had 4 or 5 people that came in vertical that haven't checked in for months or years, and they were very, very difficult to copy, and we had to dig them out and then get their calls right, and it just went on and on. I'm sorry about that, Richard, over. Are you having trouble copying me, Richard? I guess he is.
A little weak up here right now to me, Mike. I've got a high noise level tonight for some reason. So you got plenty of power, but I've got a high noise level here. So I'm not sure what the problem is. It's been that way the last couple of times here on 2 meters. So it's up about 10 dB from my normal noise floor. So giving me a little bit of trouble. But anyway, yeah, no Larry, no Dale. I'm not sure whether Daniel is here or not. I haven't heard him, but often Daniel doesn't say anything until you call him, over.
Well, I stood by a little bit there for him. Daniel, if you're there, come on in. KE7UQL, K6MYC 272. Where are you? Yeah, he isn't there. Okay, Richard, I know you got receive issues there. You're very strong here. I haven't missed anything, so it's just too bad about your noise there. I'm giving you all I can give you at the moment, but we'll look for you. Tomorrow, of course, on 6 meters. Hopefully, you won't have the same noise problem on 6. KD6BQ, Wausau Valley, Delta Mike 09, K6MYC, Bozo Net.
Yeah, Roger, Mike. Yeah, you're up right now. Real strong signal, so easy copy this last time. And we'll look for you on 6 meters tomorrow, and we'll hopefully Larry and Dale will show up on 6. Maybe they're recouping from taking down that tower yesterday. So anyway, we'll say 73 to you, and thanks for running the net. K6MYC, KD6BQ, Delta Mike 09 in Nevada.
Okay, Rob, are you copying him?
Yeah, I was just going to break in, but he started fading out on me now. KD6BQ, Richard, this is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo, over.
Yeah, KM6SRR, KD6BQ. You're not as strong as Mike is tonight, but I copy you there, Rob. About a 5 and 1, over.
Roger on the 5 and 1. Yeah, you're a little better than that, but my estimator doesn't do a whole good job. So anyway, good to hear you there, Richard. Thanks a lot. Okay, Mike.
Good evening, Richard.
Go ahead, Ken.
KD6BQ, WA60IB. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Ken. You got a better signal there. You're sounding pretty good up here tonight, over.
Yeah, you are too. You're good S8, almost an S9. Sounding good. Good to hear you. WA60IB.
Yep, 73 Ken, WA60IB, KD6BQ.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow night on 6 meters, just about probably somewhere between 8:15 and 8:30, Richard.
Now, Roger, that sounds good, and I'll see if I can let Larry know maybe I can get a hold of him on the phone or something tomorrow, over.
Well, he knows the schedule. I usually do 222, and then we start with you guys in the north, so you don't have to wait.
Yeah, he should be on 222. He should get you there.
Yeah, okay. Very good. 7-3 for now. We had beautiful weather the last few days here. It's warming up, and I think it'll even be warmer tomorrow. They said they had 75-degree temperatures in the Bay Area, which means that's coming our way, I hope. It was about 65 here today. 7-3, Richard. Good evening. Yeah, KD6BQ in the group, K6MYC Bozo Net.
Yep, very, very good, Mike. Yeah, it was beautiful here, too. It was about 62 here, and beautiful sunshine. Looks like it'll be that way most of the week, but it also looks like next weekend it's going to turn cold here again. Anyway, 73, and we'll talk to you later. K6MYC and the net, 86BQ in Nevada.
7-3. Did. I'm going toward Eddie's direction, Rob.
Did.
Okay, Mike. I gave a text to Dave. He said he's working single antenna guy in New Zealand, so he's having to work hard off the moon, over.
Yeah, I imagine so. Moon's really high declination right now. It's almost straight overhead. Earlier, when we started the net, I looked up there, and it was a headlight right overhead.
Yeah, Roger. Dave said to tell you that's what he's doing, and you'd understand there. Hi.
That means I should check him in, shouldn't I?
Well, he's not on the band. I'll go back up. Maybe I'll catch him later.
No, he's on the band. He's just down the band doing JT.
KE6BQ, Eddie, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KM6SR with K6MYC, standing by.
His neighbor was in here.
BQ.
KE6BK, Eddie? I guess he's not there tonight.
Yeah, I don't hear him either.
Okay, I think we're done with the net. I'm surprised we missed the Atascadero boys. We sort of made up with all those other guys that checked in. I got about 47 here, I think, checked in. What do you got?
Oh boy, I missed a few. I've got about 41. Yeah, we missed a few local guys too. Mike AAJ and Bill and some other guys. Adam?
Adam and 6 BY8. The guy that lives in right near Ken there, that fellow lives in that exclusive home area right by you, Ken. He hasn't checked in for a long time. You know anything about him?
You're talking about Aram?
I guess it is Aaron, yeah. Aaron, a different Aram.
Well, that's Aram, not Aaron. This is with an M, and that's KD6 STR. Yeah, I haven't heard him. He didn't check into the Fresno net either. He usually does that too.
Oh, well, if he checks in some net, at least he's around. Remind him that we'd like to hear him on the Bozo Net and tell him about the live streaming.
Yeah, I'll do that whenever I hear him. Yeah.
Okay. He was quite regular for a while there.
He works on the weekends, KM6SRR.
Who works on the weekends?
Adam, VUN.
Yeah, yes, he does. And we haven't got the guy in Monterey either. I guess he hasn't replaced his 3-element Yagi that was stolen off his boat. Toasted peanut butter.
Yeah, that's pretty low for somebody to do that. The only thing I can hope for is they thought they were getting a TV antenna and it's not working for them, so they deserve it. Over.
Yeah.
Did Terry check in tonight?
Yes, Terry checked in.
Okay, that's the only other one around here I can remember. It's nearby me anyway.
What's going on with Larry? Is Larry's tower back up and functional, or where is he, Ken, over?
No, we're waiting for Carl. I got the beam all built and everything's in the backyard a few weeks ago. But we had weather problems and this and that. He scheduled the crane a couple of times and had to cancel it. So anyway, we're just waiting for Carl.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Larry has a radio to get on Sideman.
Well, he has a 6-meter, but I don't know about 2 meters now. What's he got over there, Ken?
Yeah, he's got 6. He doesn't have any 2-meter. But I've got something here for him that I recently got, so that's a lot. You know, the problem with this other one is that it wandered a bit, and I just haven't had time to fuss with it, and I was going to change out all the temperature compensating stuff and try and get it to stabilize, but because it used to be a good stable radio, but I just haven't had time to do that. That's a difficult, not difficult, but time-consuming job.
Yeah, probably not worth the effort. You give it to somebody who uses on FM, and it won't matter.
That's true. It doesn't water that much, just a few KC, but it's enough to wear it, or a few hundred cycles here back and forth, but it's enough to mesh up on sideband. But I've got just a mint condition IC820, which is a 2 and 432, so he can get on 2 bands with that.
Yeah, okay. He doesn't have a 432 antenna, but maybe we can get one for him before he puts everything up.
Yeah, well, I don't know where he'd put it on that, that conglomerate he's got up there. He could stuff it in somewhere.
Well, it can go pretty close to the 2-meter one. He doesn't do any DXing anyway, so if he can just check in, he'll be all right.
Well, he's got a 10-foot mast there on his chimney. We could just put it there and aim it at you.
That would be fine.
I think it's 25 watts, but that should be enough. 25 watts on 2, and I think 15 watts on 432.
Yeah, that should be fine. Hopefully he can get motivated to get back on again. Missed him at the club meeting the other day. I didn't even know he was there. He has to come and find me because I can't see him anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they came in late.
Must have, because I didn't even see him at break time, and I was standing there talking to Kerry for quite a while near the donuts, for God's sake.
Yeah, we should be hovering around there. Yeah, did Kerry check in tonight? I was away for part of it.
Oh, Kerry did not check in. That's another local that we're missing late tonight.
Kerry has some dinner things with his daughter, I think. So, yeah, Larry was at the meeting, but he was way in the back. Over.
I know he checked in. I mean, I know he was there because I heard him get a prize call, and he went up and said, "Okay, Larry, come up and get your thing or something." And I said, "Well, I didn't even know he was here." Okay. I think we're done, guys, and I think I'm going to go and get some dinner. I did not get dinner beforehand. Matt's gone for the week. He's back in Washington, D.C., God forbid, with the shootings and all the crap that went on today. Another big shooting going on in Washington, D.C. I said, be ready to duck, Matt.
Well, I'll be darned. Wow. Is he back there for some kind of meeting or something?
No, it's a big show. We have never gone to the show and exhibited before. We usually go back and walk around and talk about our stuff with other vendors and other people that are interested. But this time we actually bought the booth. That's something like $20,000 or something. I mean, it's not for little boys to play in that one. But anyway, let me give you guys, well, I'm going to tell you what we heard from Kerry. You didn't get this either, Rob. Let me tell you this. You'll be interested in hearing this. And Ken, because you're a pilot, you can appreciate some of this. Just quickly. Let me see. Okay. About a week ago now, a plane flew into Fresno. It was a big Boeing 757. As you know, that's a biggie, Ken. And they took over, it went over to the area where UPS is, and Kerry's son-in-law works at the UPS depot there. He's an aircraft mechanic. And this plane comes in, and they've refueled, but nobody got off the plane. It was a plainly marked, no colors, gray 757. And they had, when they got ready to leave, they had a flagman out on each wingtip because the thing's got huge wingspan, and they were trying to guide him through the light poles and stuff. And one guy didn't do his job right, and the plane hit a light pole and bent it over pretty severely. And they stopped the plane. They were worried about wing damage, I think, and other things. So they stopped the plane, but nobody got off, and they cordoned off the plane. Apparently, and this is what his grandson, or his son-in-law found out later, the plane was filled with foreign troops, all loaded up, and they had them there for 2 days. They wouldn't let them get off the plane. They wouldn't let anybody go on the plane except for vendors that brought food. The Marriott and other hotels were hired to come over and bring food, so they fed them, and they were stuck there for 2 days because they don't have a big enough mule to push the plane around. So they brought a mule up, I guess, from L.A. or someplace, and they finally got the plane off. But the guys on board were fully uniformed foreign soldiers, but he couldn't tell from where they were because nobody would talk about it. Over.
Yeah, I saw that plane. It was totally unmarked except for just an N number on right on the top of the tail on each side. Other than that, it was totally unmarked. Very interesting. Yeah, and it drew some attention, some media attention and whatnot too. So, yeah, and I know what you were talking about.
Yeah, but nobody knows what they were doing or why they were there, and they weren't there for training purposes, I don't think. So we don't know what the hell was going on. The thing that bothers me is that Biden's flying people all over. He's brought in 300,000 people on aircraft from other countries in terms of the migrant population. Over 300,000 have come in on those planes. So what else they're doing now with the foreign military is God only knows.
Yeah, very strange. Yeah, well, Anyway, yeah, that was quite of a fiasco, but it did draw media attention. But like you said, nobody really knows what was going on. They're just suspicioning things. So, oh well.
Yeah, well, apparently, according to what Kerry's son-in-law found out, probably from the gasoline rating, or they had to see something about the plane. The plane had made 2 other stops and offloaded some troops somewhere up and down the coast of California. I think to the northern coast. I think they were heading south, but I'm not sure. But they had offloaded some troops somewhere, two other places, so they weren't fully loaded at the time they hit the Fresno thing. Anyway, very strange, very clandestine, very non-transparent, huh?
Yeah, I just hope they weren't Chinese troops.
I don't think so.
You kid. I wouldn't put it past Biden.
I wouldn't either. I got a kick out of Dr. Schaffner the other day. I went up and saw him, and he said he had a theory about the transparency that the government is talking about. Well, we're totally transparent in this. He said, listen, when you go up to a big piece of glass, what is glass? Well, it's transparent. And that means you can't see it. So he says that's their definition. They say transparent, and they really mean that it's not visible because you can't see the glass. Can't see what's behind it. I mean, you can see what's behind it, but you can't see the glass. So transparent in government lingo is we're not going to tell you anything about it, and you're not going to hear about it.
Yeah, tell about it. Jeepers. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got my 220 all torn apart. Well, the Kenwood 570 has lost its battery, so I got it in the shop. I'm taking it apart and putting a new battery in it, and I'm redoing the 220. So I hope I get it together and be on tomorrow night. But I'm rewiring everything and cleaning it up a bit, and it was kind of hodgepodge. So I hope I can get it all glued together by tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'll be good. We're good to have you back on 220 again.
Yeah, it was just kind of haphazardly stuck together, so I want to permanentize it a little bit better, so be a little more stable anyway.
I was going to ask you something else. What the hell? Oh, I haven't. You may get a call from Robert tomorrow because it's Monday, and maybe by that time, if in fact, who is it that had the? Oh, I think it's Richard. Richard, KD6BQ. I didn't ask him tonight if he'd sent it, but I assume he did. That KLM 432 amp should be down at the plant, so you may get a call from Robert related to that. No big hurry on it, but I'm just giving you a heads up on it. If you're down that way, you might check in and see if it showed up.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting it, so yeah, I'm up on it. And I'll check with Robert and see what's going on. I have to be in that direction on Tuesday. I've got things to do tomorrow, but Tuesday I can head that way.
Yeah, okay. I've got 5 or 6 copies that I have to have made, and Rob might get them made. But Rob, if you can't get them made, maybe you can just drop them off at the plant if you're going into town. And then Ken could pick them up Tuesday and bring them back up, and I'd like to get them here by Wednesday if I can. Worst case, we go down to Ken's place and pick up the copies. Our copy machine is locked up, Ken. I got 3 printers in the house here. 2 of them are not even copy machines. One is, and we've been using Matt's copy machine, but all of a sudden it says there's a job in queue, and we're not going to let you do anything until you print us out, but it won't print it out. It's 49 pages of something. We don't know what the hell it is, and I don't know what Matt would have done that was 49 pages long, but the printer's locked up, and no matter how Ken and Frank worked on it, we tried turning it off, we tried unplugging it, we tried resetting it in every possible way we could think of. It will not let go of this. So it may also have just a mental glitch. But anyway, I can't print anything. That's the long and short of it. Over.
Is it full of paper, Mike?
Yeah, it's got paper. It's got all the normal stuff, and it comes up and it makes noise when you first turn it on, and then it runs for 30 to 15 seconds and makes noise, but then it comes up with this error message waiting to print the rest of the pages, and it just stops at that point.
Let it sit for 10, 15 minutes, and then when I fire it back up again, it's forgotten what it was goofed up on.
I'm sorry, I doubled with you. Do you want me to unplug it for 15 minutes at least?
Well, yeah, or longer. Even, it doesn't matter. Just so it all bleeds off, because sometimes that stuff just hangs in there until the stuff just, dissipates. That's one thing I've had to do. It may work, it may not. I don't know how it holds it in memory. It may be that you have to do a reset, a software reset, while it's on. I don't know. I don't know your printer. I use HPs mostly, and I've got to leave them off for quite a while, though. At least 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll go in and unplug it and try it again in the morning. We had it off unplugged for a few minutes, but not 15 minutes. We did it for a couple minutes. We thought, well, that should be long enough, but apparently not. Okay. Well, let's go out of here. Get out of here. 73 to everybody, and thanks for the help tonight, and good net. We got...
Even if I goof up and do something wrong and I want to reset it to start over again, it's hard to do other than just shut it off. And I've done it for 2 or 3 minutes and it didn't work. And like I said, do it 15, 20 minutes and it finally, or longer, and it finally bleeds off.
Yeah, well, I'll just I think it's on a switched terminal strip, and I'll just turn it off and leave it off overnight and then check it in the morning. Thanks for that heads up, Ken.
Yep. If you do need some copies or something, and if Rob's busy or whatnot, I can do them here. I've got a nice printer here at the house, color, dual-sided, everything. It's a super whiz-bang, and it works really, really well. So, or if if you can email it, get somebody to email them to me or whatnot. I can do it that way too. Whatever. There's all kinds of ways to do it. It'll scan it, whatever.
Well, we just drew the picture. So what it is, it's just a simple sketch. And what we're going to do with the 23CM 49er is we're converting the elements from rod and keepers and buttons to stamped or laser cut elements. And the boom comp is a big question, because you can't do boom comp in the computer with big booms. It won't take a boom at 1296 over a half-inch in diameter, so we have to do it empirically. So we're making 5 little variations of the same back 9 elements of the antenna and see if we can find out what the boom comp has to be, and then put it in there, and then run the whole antenna, and hopefully it'll be okay. But the point is, we're making we just did one simple drawing, and what we'll do is we'll fill in the details for Matt so he can draw up 5 different versions of it when he gets back, and get it into the laser guy, and he'll make me 5 different versions of the back 9 elements of the antenna, and then we'll bring it up here or take it to the plant and do some gain range tests on it to see if we've compensated right for it. We're changing it to, from round elements to rectangular and a lot of changes. So it's the boom comp's a big question mark. Over.
Oh, very good, very good. Experimentation. There you go. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. That way, the results are going to be accurate when you get your end result the way you want it. Okay, very good. Well, whatever I can do to help. I should be here most of the day tomorrow. I've got things scheduled to do here that need to get done. Then I've got to try and get the car finished. My goodness, I'm to the point where I've got everything done. Now I've got to put it all back together, the console and all the wiring. I've got to get that all bundled up and all back into the recess behind the console, and it's going to be a real job because I've got a lot of extra wiring and stuff. So get it all together, and hopefully it'll work. I spent a lot of time. I'm adding a screen and GPS and new radio and sound system and a few other things. So so it doesn't look any different, but it'll work a lot better. So that's my goal for this next week too. So lots of things to do. WA60IB.
Is that on the DeLorean?
Yeah, that's what I mean, the DeLorean. Yeah, that's the only car I'm working on right now. Thank goodness.
Yeah, okay. Well, Rob, it's up to you in the morning if you want to swing by here. You said you had to go into town to do what?
Yeah, I'm going right by your place, so I'll give you a call in the morning and see whether your machine decides to act right and give you copies. But I can come by and pick them up and either go down to Ken's or go down to the plant and make copies and drop off my recyclables and then pick up the copies and bring them back up to you. So it'll work fine. Over.
Okay, very good. Well, I'll be here, and and maybe when you come back, we can turn the printer on and see if it's going to go, because you can run the printer, but I can't. Over.
Oh, okay. All right. So you won't be able to tell whether you're turning it on or off is going to make it work for you then.
It will come up differently, and I'm assuming, but I can't set it, so I don't know how to tell it to run this many copies or whatever. So somebody else has to run a copy, or I just cannot read the little screen on it. It's not big enough to see anything. Over.
Yeah, those screens are pretty small in there. We've got one here too that I use for copying that's pretty small also. So I suppose I could even bring it up here, but it makes an okay copy. Black and white, it does good. Over.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a simple nothing job here, hand drawing. And we just want a bunch of copies so we can make a bunch of variations on each copy and say, okay, Matt, make one of each of these, and then we'll send it off to the laser cutter guy. But yeah, I'm sure you can run this printer. It's not difficult. It comes up and lights up, and it'll either going to say it's ready or it isn't. It's going to say error message, and then we'll know whether you want to take the copies into town or we could do them right here at my place. Over.
Okay, that sounds good. I do have to load up some stuff in the morning, so I don't know if I'll be getting off around 10-ish or a little later. Is that okay for you?
Oh, you know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be here all day. I can't go anywhere.
Okay, well, I didn't know whether you had to get them down and a certain time and get them back by a certain time. Over.
No, I don't need them back until Matt gets back, but I want to get them back for on Tuesday. Frank will be back, and we'll put all the numbers in. This is just the same version over and over again, but we're going to add the things that we're going to change is the element lengths because of boom comps. So we're going to try 4 or 5 different boom comps and see if we can hit the number correctly. And when we put it on the range, we're looking for the curve that the computer says we should see. And if the closest one to that, then we can make a final adjustment and make the final antenna as we need it. So the soonest I need the copies is Tuesday when Frank comes back. Over.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, you're using it like a template where you can fill in the different things on each page. So you start out with the same drawing, just put different measurements on it. That makes sense. KM6SR, over.
And that's it. We're just going to have to make different element lengths. The spacings don't change, so that's already written in there. It's all done. And some detail on how I want the holes for mounting and the stamped out element or the laser cut element and stuff like that. But basically we'll have 5 copies and there'll be 5 different versions of element length variations. So that's basically it. And then we'll have the guy run a bunch of those, and we got 2 boom sizes that we're going to go on and do testing on. Interestingly enough, the boom comp normally gets more and more. In other words, you have to make the element longer and longer as the boom diameter gets larger, but at 1296 it goes the other way. And there's almost no boom comp at a 1-inch boom, but on 3/4 of an inch of boom, we needed 0.171, almost 3/16 of an inch of boom comp. As the boom diameter got smaller, the boom comp required more. And I determined that empirically when I built the antenna originally. We made notes on all that stuff, but it's not going through the boom anymore. These elements are going to be on top, so we still have some unknowns. Over.
Yeah, it sounds complicated, but that's your forte, so sounds good to me. Over.
Yeah, it's my world. I'm struggling. Not really. It's just that I can't do a lot of the stuff by myself like I used to be able to. So Frank and I are working on it together. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Rob. I'm going to go and get something rustled up for dinner and then maybe get off to bed, perhaps. K6MYC will be clear, closing the Bozo Net unless there's some other check-in.
73, good night all, WA60IB.
Okay, was there another check-in?
KM6SR. And Mike, you said you had 45. I'm showing 41. I wonder if I missed something. Over.
I got more than 40. No, not 45. I got 43, 42, 42.
Hey, Mike.
I got you. Hang on, Dave.
Okay.
I got 42, Rob. What do you got?
I had 41, but did you just hear Dave, LOL?
I got him in there. He's 42, I guess.
Okay, then we agree.
Well, it'll be 43 with me. So we must have missed one, but I wouldn't worry about it. May have skipped a line somewhere in there.
Okay, well, I won't take the time and listen to the stream then. That'd take me a lot longer, and I got to get to bed so I can get up early and get all this stuff done. Over.
Yeah, don't listen to the stream. I'm sure you got everybody.
Okay, and I just had the third cat come up here. They're wanting their dinner, and I haven't eaten mine either. So I guess we'll say 73 is Mike, K6MYC, KM6SR.
Okay, very good, Rob. Did you work the New Zealand guy, Rob? I mean, Dave?
No, not quite. He's got a single Yagi, so I thought I'd run down here real quick and check in and then go back. He's got a really good low peak at 13 degrees.
Yeah, that's later. Well, you're checked in. I checked in when Rob said that you were doing moon bounce, so I just went ahead and checked in.
Oh, okay. I got the moon bounce exclusion.
Yes, you did.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm headed back to try and finish up with this guy, so have a good evening.
Yeah, well, worst case, you work them in a month or so when you get the XP32s going. That'll be a slam dunk.
Yeah, I'll be able to work them no problem at all. I finally got all the tower stuff out there at the location. I carried that out. Now I have to take the verticals out without touching the fiberglass. Boy, that stuff really gets in your hands.
Yeah, you should spray paint it.
Oh, that's right. You were saying that. Yeah, I'll get some Krylon and do that when I get it down and just use gloves in the meantime, I guess.
Yeah, any color. But yeah, rubber gloves, if you're going to sand it, it doesn't hurt to sand it with a crummy piece of something sandpaperish, like steel wool or anything, just to get the real loose fibers off. But wear gloves when you do it, rubber gloves that can't let any of that stuff penetrate. And then, and then spray it, and it'll be fine. You can use any color. You don't have to use Krylon clear. It can be any color.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I guess that would be best to sand it a little bit, because then when you spray it, that stuff doesn't poke through.
Yeah, it'll make a nicer coat on it, and you can still, when you spray it the way it is, it's still pretty rough, and you can get the odd fiber by touching it even after it's painted. And that's even more painful because they're stiffer. So you're better off to just sand it lightly. But hopefully your wife or you have some rubber gloves that you can use. And but you got to have rubber gloves, otherwise don't do it.
I'll paint it EME green. EME green. I'll have more gain.
Absolutely.
Hey, do it. Make it sky blue, and you won't be able to see it.
Hey, there you go. My neighbors won't complain.
There you go.
Hey, Dave, and wear a dust mask. You don't want to breathe in those fibers either, over.
Yeah, I'm building a place, and I was putting insulation overhead, and boy, that got to be careful. That stuff will hurt your chest. All right, guys. Well, anyway, fun yakking with you. I'm going to get back and see if I can get that ZL on a single Yagi here. K6MYC and the gang, WA6LOL, Sonora.
Good night.
Good night, Dave, WA6OIV.
Good night, Dave, WA6LOL, KM6SR. And good night to the rest of everybody. I'm going to go QRT.
Good night, guys. K6USY, DMO6.
Good night, Aaron.